Hi friends, let us start with the chapter gravitation. In last video I have given you the deducted portion. Now see, in this chapter we are going to learn about the gravitation. What is gravitation? We already have learned that this is an phenomena or this is an process which was discovered by Isaac Newton. This was the name of the scientist who invented the gravitation. Once he was sitting under a tree and he saw one fruit fall down on the ground. And from there he started thinking that why that fruit fall down instead of going upward or inclined anywhere. How did it come straightway towards the ground? And from there he started studying and he found that there is an gravitation. Now see, in this figure they have shown a person is sitting there, that is he is an Isaac Newton. An apple fall down and it came toward the earth instead of going up above anywhere or like this anywhere. It came straight down towards the earth or towards the center of the earth. And for that some force might be acting on that, so he found that there is an force, and for that force, along with that force, motion also comes along with the force. So we are going to study about the force and motion. We have seen that a force is necessary to change the speed as well as the direction of the motion of an object. And while studying this, Newton has made some laws regarding the motion, and named them as the Newton's laws of motion. And he had found many motions also, circular motion, centripetal motion, and so on. You just read this. It has been deducted, but for information you read this. You do this activity, take one rope, tie one stone, just move and release it. The way it is going is then tangentially to the circle. This is the information of Isaac Newton, the scientist who has invented the motion, the laws of motion. On the page number 3, we will come to the Kepler's law. Here, Kepler's law, this is an Kepler name of the scientist, and he has put forth the laws. According to Kepler, he said that the orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun at one of the foci. See, in the figure it has shown that suppose this is an foci and this is the orbit of the planet, and the shape of this is elliptical, not a perfect circle. So this shows that the elliptical orbit of the planet revolving around the sun, and the position of the sun is indicated by S. This was the first law. And all the planets are revolving around the sun. They might be far or near to the sun, but they are revolving around the sun. This was the first law. What was the second law? The line joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal areas in equal interval of time. That means, see in the figure, suppose this is one planet moving from A to B in given interval of the time, and from B to C or from C to D. So area covered by that planet or that lines, these lines is equal, this sweeps equal area upon the sun B and A, and between sun D and C, this area, or sun E and F, these areas are equal. Only the thing that time interval should be equal. And third law, according to third law, the square of its period of revolution, square of period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of a planet from the sun. That means if r is the average distance of planet from the sun and t is its period of revolution, if t is the period of revolution, then t square means according to law square of its period, that is t square, is directly proportional to cube of the mean distance. Mean distance we have taken as r, that is we can say t square upon r cube is equal to constant, which is equal to k. Kepler obtained these laws simply from the study of position of planets obtained by regular observation. He had no explanation as to why planets obey these laws. We will see below how this law helped Newton in formulation of this gravitation. See, we have seen that the Kepler have stated three laws, but here it is given clearly that although he has given the laws, but he was unable to explain why all such things are happening, why they are having a circular orbit or elliptical orbit, why they don't follow any other path. He was unable to explain that. That means he was unable to explain that some force is there, force of attraction or gravitation. He was unable to explain that. So here we have seen that he had no explanation as to why planets obey these laws, why they are obeying the law. Kepler was unable to explain this. So remaining part we will see in next video.